This podcast is a proud representative of The Wellness Company. Go to twc.health/alternate take for all your wellness needs and type in the promo code alternate take, one word, for 10% off. You guys, in today's world, health has never been more important. In fact, it's one of the coolest subjects we've been able to touch on here at Alternate Take, and we've gotten some amazing guests to have discussions with, including Dr. Peter McCullough, who you all know as probably the most famous doctor in the world ever since his episodes on Joe Rogan. He is the chief scientific officer of the Wellness Company, and nothing goes through this whole company without his knowledge. If it's certified by Dr. Peter McCullough, it's certified by us. The Wellness Company is unequivocally and unapologetically standing up for medical freedom and the right to affordable health care. This company has always put the patient first. If you go on their website at twc.health, you'll see all natural products and everything that's going to make you a better human being. Guys, let's get healthy before we even get to the hospital, before we get serious problems. This is the place you got to go. Go to the website, twc.health/alternate take, promo code alternate take, one word, for 10% off, and thank us later. Get healthy, guys. Your family's dependent on you. What is up, everybody? This is Alternate Take, man. We are back with another special guest. We brought you Mr. Jimmy Shubert. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's an honor to have you on the show, man. I would say, starting my love for comedy, going back, when I was a kid with, the Eddie Murphys and shit. I mean, it's developed a lot. I've seen a lot of comedy in the last 20 years, but man, you're up there, man. You're one of my favorite comedians, so I'm excited to do this for sure.
Well, high praise indeed, man, and thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I try. It's kind of been. I'm kind of like an outlier. You do something for like 10,000 hours, you just get good at it, and I've just been one of these touring comedians. I've always like I was so funny. I was in L.A. at the Improv, and someone said, "Oh, you're a road comedian." I was like, is there any other fucking kind? Like, what are you talking about? What delusional bubble do you live in that you think that you don't gonna have to go out and have to tour and travel? I mean, some guys like Carrot Top, figured it out 20 years ago. Like, you get a residency in Vegas, and the audience travels to come see you, which is cool. And of course, great, good for him. But a lot of people are doing that now. Butchie Bradley. Brett Ernst are doing residencies. I have some other friends that are doing residencies. It seems like when you get tired of traveling, which I'm not tired of traveling. I love it. I actually, I got it down to a fucking science. I mean, other than the fucking delays and the fuck ups at the airport, weather and shit. I mean, I love to travel. I'm going to the Philippines in January. I'm getting the fuck out of Dodge, bro. I'm getting my cameras. I'm actually just putting together my kit right now. I'm going to go disappear in the world with my camera and a couple lenses and just go fucking take pictures of fucking everything. And, the Philippines, it's an archipelagos. It's this collection of 7,000 islands, one more beautiful than the other. Your money goes much further there, 1,000 years, like 50,000 over there. And so you get to stay at four-star hotels, five-star hotels, and just go get lost in a part of the world that I just kind of I've never been to before, like that. I mean, I've been to China 3 times. I've been to Singapore. I've been to Macau. I've been through Asia a little bit: Shanghai, Beijing, Nanjing, Suzhou, Wuxi, Hong Kong, and now Singapore and Macau. And so this will complete the set. And then I think, I may go to Greece, or I'm always looking to see if I can do comedy there, pay for the trip and at least write it off. Hey, do they speak English? Because if they speak English, I'll work there, It's one of those. I don't give a fuck. I'll make anybody laugh anywhere. They don't even speak the same language. Tagalog, fucking English. I'm there. I'll pull out a rubber chicken. I'll fucking crush. And then, I have to write off the trip.
Oh, man. That's great. I mean, it's true. You never hear anyone say, what are you, a road athlete? Like, no shit, bitch. Yes, I do athlete at home and I do them other places too. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Well,
What's
the job is the job. I mean, don't get me wrong. I live in LA. I've done the Comedy Store and I've done the Improv and Laugh Factory, and you do those clubs and you do Vegas and you do. I mean, but that is the nature of the beast. I mean, it just lets me know how delusional some people are. Like, you have to go on the road and tour to make a living doing this. You can't. I mean, some people could, but I mean, mostly you can't make a living in Los Angeles doing it, and they certainly don't encourage talent out there anyway. So. And why
yeah.
would you fucking live out there now? Anyway, I mean, you don't have to. Everybody did the high ditch out. I mean, it's I've gone out there to visit, and I was in a film that was in a film festival in Newport Beach, which was nice. I have a film called Topper with Mark O'Brien and Mandy Clayton that was directed by Kevin McNamara. Brian, oh God, how fucking this is crazy. Sorry, Eric Griffin and Brian Callen are in it as well. So it's a cool little movie, kind of comedy centric. Like we play his like kind of local comedian buddies. But it's a really good movie, really good performances. That's coming out, and that movie Don't Suck with Matt Rife I did with Russell Peters and Jamie Kennedy is coming out December 1st in limited theaters, like 7 theaters. And this other film was just in Toronto, at Toronto Film Festival. It's being rep by CA. It's called Puppy Love with Hopper Penn, Sean Penn's son, Michael Madsen, Roseanne Arquette, and Cowboy Cerrone from the UFC, who fucking kills it, by the way. It's great. So that's a cool little movie. And I just did my new hour special, which will be coming out after the first year, and a new album. So trying to keeping them plates spinning. Like the guy on it solo. You gotta keep all the plates spinning.
Um,
Uh,
that's great, brother. I feel like that's part of the comedy gig, right? Like the acting gigs that come along with it and just all the opportunities that come along, man. I think
well,
that's
that's it. I did study acting formally for many years, and so I was always my plan. I mean, I would, I've done 15 episodes of King of Queens, Reno 911, the Two Broke Girls, freaking Zeke and Luther. I've done a couple Disney shows. I've done a bunch of stuff. I mean, I've done enough acting work that I get a pension from the Screen Actors Guild. So that was always the plan to quietly go about. I've done an episode of Marin. So I like doing that stuff. That's another way to be creative. I like that. I always have. The stand up is the stand up, but I love doing that. And then the acting is another way to, it's an alternate stream of income that goes along with stand up. And then of course, I do close-up magic as a hobby, which is I passed back in 2017. I auditioned and passed the Magic Castle, became a magician member of the Magic Castle because, I'm just a song and dance man. All this tomfoolery doesn't hold water with me. No, I just that's stupid. I used to do magic when I was a kid, and I started getting back into it. I had like a little bit of a midlife magic crisis where I love close up magic. I've always loved doing it. I worked with a guy who was doing it. We got together, and he kind of got me back into it. And so I just wanted to see if I was good enough after rehearsing for like 6 months. And I had the opportunity to audition at the Magic Castle, which was cool. And they passed me the first time through. So I got that, in the
hell
back.
yeah. That's
So
awesome, man.
yeah.
That's great. I wanted to ask what was it like being a kid into magic and comedy and acting, and your upbringing? I know you're from Philly, right?
Yeah, for Philly.
Yeah.
It was always good. I mean, it's funny because I know I'm still friendly with some of the kids I grew up with in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? I grew up with 6 brothers. There's 6 boys in my house. So everybody knew everybody all the time, almost like an extended family. And everybody in our neighborhood was close. I mean, everybody wasn't like, it was kind of like its own little thing. And so it was like, and I was always performing. I went to the Philadelphia High School for Creative Performing Arts. I was majoring drama. So when I say I studied, I really did study. And I got in. I used magic. I started doing magic when I was 9, and I just had this thing like from like that. Like I wanted to be Charlie Chaplin. I just wanted to be Charlie Chaplin. I was trying to figure it out, and I would buy joke books. I had a joke file when I was a kid. I was like, I was fascinated by it. So. Knock wood, lucky enough to, I went after that dream. I pursued it. I pursued it at an early age, figuring if I failed and I fucked up and I fell on my face, I could always come back and start a normal life, but uh, once it started, I was never. Once I started, I was never looking back. I kind of eliminated failure as an option, and I've been doing this for professionally for 35 years. So, and been to war zones, been all around the world, to China, I've performed in Israel, Ireland, Germany, Cuba, Guantanamo Bay for the troops, Afghanistan, went to Afghanistan with Drew Carey, and yeah, it's just been quite the amazing life. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm always. Sometimes I catch myself go through my pictures, like I go, Jesus. I mean, Jesus, what I mean, I really do. I'm so grateful that number one, that I had the balls to go after something I really wanted to do, which I love to do. I mean, I think that's that thing from City Slickers when he says to Curly says to me, he goes, it's that one thing. You got to figure out that one thing. And I think that thing is, if you can figure out how to do something you love to do and get paid for it, then that's the thing, because then you're never really working your life, and then you're pursuing things that you love that feed your soul. And I realized that's rarefied air, and most people don't get to do it. But it didn't come fucking easy. Tremendous amounts of sacrifice, and times I wanted to quit, but then I just kept going. But yeah, sometimes I just when I get up in the morning, I just think about something. Jeez, what a fucking insane life, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't. I'm really fortunate and really blessed, and I know that. But I also take it very seriously. I mean, I know it's stand-up comedy. Everybody thinks you're just saying funny things, but I don't think you really are just saying funny things. I think there's more to it than that. I think if you're doing it at a high level, it's a real gift. I think if you can make people laugh, and especially people that, I mean, you never know what anybody's going through in your audience. You never do. And you have this ability, you have this gift. And it is a gift that if you develop and work on it, that you could, like, I've had people come up to me and just grab my arm and say, oh my God, I haven't laughed, especially in the last 3 years. I forgot, I think people forget, maybe I did too, is that how much laughter keeps you mentally healthy, keeps your mental well. You need to laugh, and you need to, it's healing, man. It really is. It's healing. It's a kind of a healing thing. If you get up and take a room full of 400 strangers and you're on stage and they're just I just like laughing uncontrollably, and which I love, because when people are laughing, it's why I do. It's my favorite sound. But when I know that I'm doing my job and I'm doing it at a high level, people are laughing, and they're the furthest thing away from whatever hurts them in their life, because they've let it go enough to laugh and find a little joy. And so I think if you think about, that's why I never take it for granted. You're always, you're doing God's work, because the devil hates the sound of laughter. And so I'm one of God's favorites.
That's so
I'm just being silly. I'm just being silly, although I am. No, but I just don't. I just, I think there's more to it when you realize, if you work hard and you write, and you're really able to just make a room full of people laugh. I don't think there's anything better than that. I think, that's real. Uh, being in service and making others happy, I think is a good and noble profession.
I
That's what.
couldn't agree more. Yeah. I mean, I remember my earliest fascination with that was when I was a kid. I maybe like 7 or 8. Like my family, like we'd have family parties and stuff, and it's a
Yeah,
Mexican house, so there's family parties just like every weekend, and it was fucking fun. I had my cousins around, and aunts and uncles dancing, drinking all night, and it was like every weekend. It really was. And at some point in the night, like around midnight or something, like the people that wanted to party were outside, and people that wanted to chill more came inside, and they'd always put on a comedy special. Always.
yeah.
It was
It's
always
funny. It's funny you say that. Like if you look at the '60s, like back, like Bob Newhart, like people forget, like Bob Newhart saved Warner Brothers Records, because his album, people would put it on at parties, and they would stand around the record player, and they would laugh. And that was like a number one. I mean, people became a huge fan of him from his records, but he also, in the process, saved Warner Brothers Records. And of course, you look at Bob Newhart's career. I mean, that guy was on television for close to 40 fucking years. I mean, that's a hell of a career. It's Bob fucking Newhart, who I love. I mean, I think if you're a comedian today and you don't go back and listen to Bob Newhart or Lenny Bruce, I mean, Carlin or any of the like Joan Rivers stuff. Uh, all the Fat Jackie Leonard. If you can find some of those stuff and watch these guys, I mean, it's interesting because you can watch. If you go back to the Ed Sullivan Show, you can watch Pryor and Carlin doing their before they became these fucking countercultural icons. They were trying to do this. Eh, hippy dippy weatherman. And they were doing this before they became piss shit cocksucker motherfucker. Before they became those guys, they were these. But I think that if you're a real student of the art, I think, and you don't study it, I think you're out of your mind. You don't want to get influenced, but you also. I think you can find lessons in everybody's work. I think you can find lessons in guys things that like I mean Lenny Bruce and I know it's by today's standards, people would have a tough time. But if you look at conceptually what he was trying to do, and you can listen to it, you go, oh, "Hey, man," and it's like, you know, um, yeah, I love it, man. I'm definitely in the life for stand up comedy, for forever, really.
Yeah, I that's huge to me. Going back to the old comics is like the biggest. I think that's big in anything. I was a fucking baseball player growing up, and like I wouldn't even really study the players out in my current, like era because to me they were almost like untouchables. They were like God. Like I grew up with Ken Griffey and stuff, so I was like I don't need to worry about Ken Griffey. I want to worry about the guy that Ken Griffey idolized growing up. That's what I want to look at.
Yeah, yeah,
Only
yeah,
from
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
Well, you realize it's like like those guys learn from other ball players and watched and idolized. It's the same with stand up. It's the same with entertainers. It's the same with acting. Like you watch it differently than other people. You watch it differently than most people. So, uh, yeah. But I just is that where you're at now? If you're in Los Angeles?
Yeah, it sucks balls too. I'm
Yeah.
fucking sick of it. I'm trying to get out of here as soon as possible, saving up
Well, it's
all my
funny.
money.
That's funny. Everybody I've talked to is trying to get out. It's like that's why I got out when I did. I was like, "Fuck! If I stay out here any longer, I may not be able to get the fuck out of here." I mean, I moved to Delray Beach, Florida, which I'm much happier here in the long run. Everything's cheaper. I'm still able to fly out of. I'm going up to see my family that's on the West Coast or the East Coast here. So I just 2.5 hour trip. It's so much easier to get around and stuff. But yeah, I'm just trying to keep busy, making a living, and enjoy. And at this point in my life, I'm trying to enjoy my life a little more and do one, and just kind of do a few more things. Always keep learning. I'm trying to learn photography
I
right
was
now.
gonna, I was gonna ask like what is enjoying the life for Jimmy Shubert? What does that look like? What are the new things?
I love to play. I love to play. I love to play golf. I do hot yoga 3 days a week. I do intermittent fasting. I usually I make my own. I make my own health food. Like I make my own ginger shots. I make Irish sea moss. I kind of eat a real clean. When I'm home, I eat a very clean diet. Obviously, when I'm on the road, it's much tougher to do that. Uh, but I've discovered intermittent fasting. I've been making that work for me, which is if I'd rather not eat for 16 hours than eat shit and have to. I would just rather not eat. Someone told me recently, which is great, was that the best meal the body has is itself. So when you're doing intermittent fasting, the first thing it does, it eats all the fucking bad shit in your body, starting with your fat and everything else. I didn't even think about it that way. And then I started reading the Gnostic Gospels, the Gospels of love and peace, and they mentioned prayer and fasting. Like, oh, that's interesting. They've been doing it for a while as a tool, to heal your body. Fasting, because most of the shit people are eating isn't even real food. It's not even real food. It's not
Yeah,
whole.
it's so fucked up now. What's more annoying though, to be honest with you, is like I felt like I've done enough research now. Like I'm always learning, but I feel like I found the right people to follow when it comes to fitness and nutrition. There's so many of them out there that are trying to spread this good knowledge and stuff. And my fucking family and friends are still so dumb, and I can't give them any advice or tips. Like, and it's not even my advice. I'm like, hey, this is this guy. You should listen to him.
Yeah, well, here's the problem. People are going to listen and then receive the messages that they're ready to receive when they're ready to receive them. I mean, it's funny because I used to, it's no joke. I mean, I used to party like a maniac, and now I don't. And I've cleaned up my life a lot, and it starts with the food and stuff. I put enough bad shit in my body, and so I think it starts with really, I think. how much do you love yourself? How much do you truly love yourself? And I mean, you can't really pour from an empty cup. You have to really there's all kinds of versions of self-care, which is like what you put into your body. I mean, really, you're only getting one. I mean, you look at people and they just dig their graves with their mouth. And it's not even that you're counting calories. It's the chemicals, the shit they put in the food on top of. I mean, our food is banned in 30 countries. You figure people will go, what? Banned in 30 countries. They don't let our food, but they allow it here. Margarine is fucking poison. It's got like literally the same ingredients, like 27 of the same ingredients as paint. It doesn't go bad because it's not food. People who use margarine have a 35 to 45% greater chance of getting cancers. I mean, it's straight up fucking poison. And the FDA allowed them to sell it. And it was originally invented to fatten up turkeys, but all the turkeys they fed it to fucking died. So it's just, to me, it seems like, wow. And also understanding how your body functions optimally. Your body is a mineral-based machine. You'll get your vitamins from food, but I need minerals. That's what I need in my life. I need magnesium. I need zinc. I need fucking vitamin D. I need fucking sunshine. I need to fucking take my shoes off and ground my feet. I need to do all that shit. I need to meditate, and I need to do yoga, and then find a few minutes to like play a game of golf or take my camera out to the beach and fucking immerse myself in something that fills my head with beauty, and and fuck everybody, because I got to tell you, the last 3 years for me, it's like I said. I'll do 30, 40 minutes. I go, bro, it's a cakewalk. You just fucking ask me a question. I'll go on for 30 fucking minutes. No, but it's true. Like, that's when she went down one rabbit hole. And by the way, the rabbit hole costs extra. But once you go down the rabbit hole, you're done. You're done. You go, holy fuck. They lied about fucking everything. They assassinated Kennedy. They blew up the World Trade Centers. They fucking put fluoride in our fucking toothpaste. They put poisons in our food. These people are eugenists. They don't give a fuck about you. They never did. They don't care. They basically assassinated people with the vaccine. They really did, because it's not one size fits all. It's like mental health. I go, hey, everybody take 2 Prozac. You'll be okay. You know what? Fuck you. I'm not taking you. You know what I do? I eat mushrooms. Okay. That's why I take psilocybin mushrooms. And to me, I'd rather do those. I'd rather microdose than take any of that big pharma shit. But I'm telling you, it's all out there. The information is out there. But do people want to listen to it or not? And people get lazy. You shouldn't get lazy when it comes to your health. And you shouldn't get lazy when it comes to your body. You shouldn't get lazy when it comes to, everything else is bullshit. Strip it all down. Fuck all that shit. You can't, fancy watches and sports cars and all that. You can't, if you don't have your health, you have nothing. You gotta invest in yourself, and the more you do that, the less you give a fuck about what everybody else is doing.
Right.
The more you meditate and get lost in meditation. For me, it was a game changer. But also the yoga, the hot yoga. I mean, you're literally sweating as soon as you walk in there, and then after an hour and a half, you're drenched like you came out of a pool. And you're doing these very difficult yoga moves, some harder than the others, but also you're doing the breath work as well on top of the meditation, on top of just getting fucking lost. And that's only, I do that 3 times a week. But I'm telling you, it's those types of things. Since I've moved to Florida, it's like I tell people all the time, I had to move from California to Florida to afford to be a Californian. It's crazy. So I could do yoga 3 days a week, but I could do that out there. It's just I didn't want to. I don't know. I'm happier here. The weather's, the climate's very similar. I'm close to the beach. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And if I have airports, I can do my job. I can go anywhere I want. And I'm getting ready to get real fucking busy here too. I'm doing Keller's, which is a comedy magic club up in Erie, Pennsylvania, on the 8th and the 9th. The 10th, I fly out to Vegas. The 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, I'll be opening for Steve Trevino at the MGM at the David Copperfield Theater. I'll be up there for 4 nights. And then from there, I fly to St. Charles, Missouri, which is just outside St. Louis. I'm doing a weekend there. And then I'm done. And I may have to do like 1 show, and then I'm doing a New Year's Eve show, and then January 7th, I'm on a plane flying from Los Angeles to Hong Kong to Cebu in the Philippines. So I can't wait. I'm really kind of excited. I'm just I mean, I travel all the time for work, so this is like just traveling for me. I want to go get lost in the world and see what's out there.
Yeah, that's so great, man. I feel like when you can get out there and you're just doing your craft, man, what a fucking blessing that is, dude. I mean, unless you're getting dragged off a plane like you're in United or some shit, then it's not so fucking fun. But
Yeah,
I'm Philippines. I've never been, but I got a buddy I work with, man. He's probably one of the funniest human beings I've ever been around. He's not a comedian or anything, but like just a crazy Filipino fucking guy, man.
yeah,
I think he came to the country when he was like 40, and
yeah,
uh, he goes, I'll tell you what, Daniel, as you go to the Philippines as an American, they love you. They love you. It's just fucking
yeah.
dollars.
Well,
You get whatever
that
the
goes
fuck
back.
you
That
want.
goes back to world. That goes back to World War II. I mean, that's where my grandfather fought in World War II. Got his tongue shot off.
Oh
Never
shit.
talks about it. Never talks about it. That was a stupid joke. I'm sorry. He didn't.
I thought you
Philippines got his tongue shut off. He never talks about it. It was a stupid joke. I apologize. Yeah,
shit.
but but also, yeah, that's the other thing is that they all speak English. They all do love Americans, and I think it goes back to that time though. But also, I've been over there to other parts of Asia that will complete the thing. For me, I mean, if I was going like my last serious relationship was a Filipino girl. I mean, she's passed away when she was like 41, like 2 years ago. She had very
Wow.
aggressive, rare cervical cancer and was gone in a year, almost a year. May 25th, she passed away. And so I was like, and I was just, I said, what could I just wanted to kind of do something where we talked about going to the Philippines. So I said to her, I'm only go kind of just go out there and see her country and stuff like that. And plus, I think she would dig it. That I was going because I didn't want to do something to kind of honor her time. It was a very kind of complicated situation. So the last time I spoke with her, we're taking her in the ICU and never really got to say goodbye. So, but anyway, um, yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to go to the Philippines and kind of just get lost and hang out and see what happens.
Wow, man. That's amazing, man. I think that's the part I find the most interesting about comedians is the layers that they have to them. I think if you aren't an intelligent person, you just think that's just a guy up there being silly. You don't understand the layers behind these people.
Well, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I think so much because it looks like you're just talking, but so much work has gone into the construction of the ideas and creating the visual in your mind. So much has gone into that. The wording, the I mean, you could just, it'll take me 3 months to word something properly the way I want to say it because it's a rhythm. It's like a jazz music, the way it comes off. It's a rhythm. So it's and it's a uniquely American art form. Like stand-up comedy is like jazz music, very uniquely American. And I mean, they do it in other parts of the world, but not like we do it here. I mean, they're like 10 years behind with the slapstick and the Benny Hill shit, where we were up on stage going, I'll tell you another thing. It was like that kind of that uniquely American stand-up comedy, which is kind of going up in the nightclubs and talking about the events of the day. That's American. That version of it is, you know what I mean? Which I think everybody else has adopted. But yeah, I think yeah, come on, man. How many funny fucking ass comedians that are like even guys that aren't famous are fucking hilarious. Like I mean, I love a good I love a good a guy. I mean, obviously, yeah, I love Burr. I think David Tell's one of the funniest people on the planet. I was just at Joe Rogan's club in Austin. He's a fucking beast. I mean, that show that was Ron White and Duncan Tessel and Tony Hinchcliffe. And I don't watch a lot of stand up comedy, in fact. But man, it was just like great. What a great club. What a great experience. So, uh, yeah, man. It's really kind of I told you I don't I'm always grateful that I've been able to do this for a living.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to think when you were doing this as a young kid, like what were the things that your old man told you? I know I heard you mention in a podcast before your old man was a police officer. I always wonder, like, to me that was interesting. Like that's a very blue collar, you know, uh type of job, very like normal type of life? Like, hey man, just go do this job. What was he telling you when you were young and you're telling him like, this is what I want to do? What was like
It was
conversation?
interesting. He was. Yeah, I think he had his own different. Like, the thing of it is, it's and as much as I love both my parents, it's my life was my life. His life was his life. I mean, I got my values from them. I got my street smarts from my old man. They got me a great education. But I mean, I've been working. I've been working and doing jobs since I've been 11 years old. I mean, I was working and like I was doing fucking 6 magic shows a month. My dad had to give me because I wasn't old enough to drive. I had pigeons, I had doves, and I had an assistant. And we had to drive in. I would do these parties, and I was making bank. I was making 350, 400 a pop to do these parties, and I was getting booked. And so I was doing those like by the time I was 15, I was like an accomplished professional magician. I had a full 45-minute show and I couldn't drive. I was fucking myself. So my old man was strapped on his, like, my old man was a detective. And so he would drive me to like these churches in West Philadelphia, which are pretty bad areas. But I would always perform at St. Christopher's Hospital in the city of Philadelphia. I would do shows for the kids that weren't in ICU, and you could do shows for their families and whatever. But that's where I could always perform. They would always let me perform there to get better or practice a new trick. So I started doing that, and they all started hiring me. All the nurses had me come to their churches, and so I would go and do the show, and I was making bank, man. I was making some dough. I could buy some. The more money I made, the more I invested. I mean, But when I was 16, I wanted to pay board. I was doing dishwasher jobs and stuff like that. I was going to school. I was just like, I grew up in a big family. I have 6 brothers. My brother Bobby played the drums. My brother Joey could play guitar. I did something like magic. Like, my mom would drop them off music lessons, and then we would kill an hour down the street at the magic shop. We'd scoop them back up and go. So everybody was doing something. I mean, we all played football. We all played sports. So it was good. It was a great childhood. I don't regret a fucking second of it. I had a great childhood. I just love making people laugh. So like, people go, "Oh, he was raised by a hooker. His mom was a whore," and no, I didn't have any of that. I didn't have any of that shit. I didn't have any of, no, he was babysat by other whores at the brothel. He had a horrible life. He was breastfed by his dad till he was 12. I mean, he had a really fucked up life, and he's hilarious now because of it. Like I don't have, people like to like make their lives. It was fucking horrible. Like, we grew up so poor, no. But I mean, it was a lot of. Had a great life. Yeah, I just figured it out early, and I think a lot of my it was just it was a blue collar household. I like that upbringing because you have to work to earn it. You have to work and earn. You got to be an earner. You can't be fucking lazy. There were 6 fucking boys in that house. My mom's trying to feed everybody. We go through 4 gallons of milk in a fucking day. We had to run up halfway through, and so I'm throwing my mom $40 a board to help her with the groceries. When I was 16, I was working my ass off, and I never stopped working. I was always working until I hit about like 18, 19. I was like, all right, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm going to go do something. I'm going to go do what I want to do. I tried college for about a semester. I was like, fuck that. Can't learn what I want to do here. And I didn't, people fucking sitting there with the fucking discussing sociology and Margaret Mead and what security means to be secure in society. Like, go fuck yourself, people. I'm out. I was like such a little, no, it's just, I just didn't see that really is an education. I mean, I grew up in Philly, bro. I mean, I was all over Philly when I was like in my teens and everything. I mean, you get an education growing up in a city like it's like a smaller, more manageable New York. So, but you grew up in some of these. I've seen some horrible shit, and also, like it's in my neighborhood, people OD'd, people were shooting up, and it's just at an early. I was just like, yeah, fucking, zombies. I was like, this ain't for me, bro. I had to fucking fight my way out of that fucking town. I was like, adios, muchachos, and I went after my dream, and I went after my goals, and I was really kind of a goal oriented kid. If I just wanted to do something, I would go after it and do it, and, so.
That's
Here we
amazing.
are. That fucking 9-year-old kid fucked up my life. Here we are all this time later, and I'm telling dick jokes to fucking strangers at smoky nightclubs. What a kid ruined my life, that little prick. No, I'm kidding. No,
Well,
it's all good. It's just, I get, it's funny because I think people, even though they want to do stand up comedy, they don't want to do all that other shit because they have family responsibilities and other stuff. Because what you think it is and what it actually is there's a big chasm between those two fucking things. And I know a lot of stand up comedians became writers for TV shows. My buddy Rock Rubin became Tommy Johnigan became a TV writer. A lot of guys use those skill sets to develop in stand up. Look at Mike Binder, who was a comic in a couple clubs, but he became a great director and writer, and he did a bunch of movies and stuff. And now he's back doing stand up. I mean, Judd Apatow, look at Judd. I mean, he's back doing stand up now. It's like Tim Allen's, but like once you start doing this, I don't think you ever like. I realized I'm always going to do this. I love it so much. I love making people laugh. So I'm never not going to do it. I love also crafting the ideas that get people fucking dying and laughing and putting them together. I mean, that's like my favorite thing. So, um, yeah. Yeah.
No, you said something that piqued my interest when you said that like you decided it was your own life. It's such your that I really don't think, and I'm sure you are realize this, but like some people never get there. Some people really never do get to that point. And to know that at such a young age, maybe having six brothers has something to do with it. I'm assuming like
Yeah, you got to find your identity real fast with fucking. So
yeah,
you get lost in the shuffle if you don't. And for some reason, me and my brothers are thick as thieves. We're all each other's best friends. We all take care of each other, and now we're all in a position that we can take care of my parents and stuff. So it's like, it's very, yeah, very for. That's where I think I had an advantage because most people don't start even doing stand up till they're like 28 or 30 or 33. I mean, they're fucking around and putzing around and doing it like kind of locally, and just because they like to do it, they haven't figured it out. I never set out for that. I was always like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to figure this the fuck out. I'm going to get on the road. I'm going to be a professional comedian. I'm going to build relationships with people. I wound up lucky enough touring and opening for Sam Kinison for like 5 years and hanging at the Comedy Store and just like towards the end of the fucking heyday, that explosion in the fucking 80s. I mean, I got out there at 86, 87 and was just like, boom, was on tour with Kinison for, yeah,
wow.
I've toured with him for like 4 years, and then he passed away, and then, um, but then I would go back out on the road. So I was lucky. I was always trying to figure out like I never really had much use for Los Angeles. I mean, other than if I wasn't auditioning there, then what's the fucking point? But but also, it's also people live in a bubble out there. They have no idea. Like, if people come to my fucking show in Kansas City, they've worked their fucking balls off for like 78 hours a week. They spent their hard earned money to come see me. That means something to me. So I'm going to give them the best show I'm capable of giving them. And I never fucking phone it in. But out there in LA, people are like, so I wish you and I say, motherfucker, they'd fucking stone you and fucking get people want to laugh and they want to laugh hard. There's a lot of shit going on in the world. So I think but yeah, it's, yeah, I got to travel. I've been all over fucking America 3 fucking times, South America, fucking North America, Canada, fucking all through the Virgin Islands, fucking Germany. I mean, I performed in these places too. So, I've been to Korea 3 times, twice for filming a TV show. One time we did a 3 week for the Welfare, Morale, and Recreation tour. I was just at a show. This hat right here, it says Ranger. It says Honorary Ranger. My um, Master Sergeant Derek Kimbrough was a guy who I entertained out in Afghanistan. He saw our show. And so he was one of the guys that took care of us, but he lives in Florida. So he always comes to my shows. And he gave me this hat, has my name on it, Shubert. But because I went to a war zone to entertain him, he always comes out and sees my shows. And he's getting older, but I like guys like that, fucking badass motherfuckers. These guys did like probably 3 or 4 tours, and he's just second. But yeah, that's probably one of my favorite things to do was doing those military tours just for those guys. That's like
Yeah.
that, for me. That was I got more out of it than they did, even though they got a lot out of it. It was more like, wow, this is pretty special. Like, I mean, I love that shit. I really do. I love making. Especially guys like that who make tremendous sacrifices. So those kinds of things, those kinds of shows are cool. Got to do TV shows. I got to do sitcoms. I got to be in movies. I'm very blessed. So I'm and it's funny because the more the more I'm grateful for, the more I find to be grateful for, the more I'm grateful, the more opportunities I get to be grateful for. So I think that's part of the manifestation, isn't it? So the more things that you really appreciate in your life, that you really have, that you really go, God, it's like sometimes I just catch myself just being so fucking present in the moment, not even giving a fuck. I think we've gotten so lost as a species, really. We're ridiculous. I mean, you've never heard anyone say, well, that government program was a success. We don't need any more money from the taxpayers to fund that problem because we solved it. It never goes. It's like, it's like the Tom and Jerry fucking thing. Like if Tom catches Jerry, the show's over. That's why nobody ever fixes anything ever, because
Yeah.
they want the show to continue. Like, politics is show business for fucking ugly people. You know what I mean? So I don't watch the news. I don't watch TV. I just listen to music. I try to find peace. This is what I want now. I want to be able to I want to be able to enjoy my life. I worked my ass off for the last 35 years. So I still love doing it, but I also want to find the balance, like the life work balance, because sometimes it gets crazy, man. It gets crazy. For the next month, I'm fucking nonstop, boom, 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 boom. So, but at the end of it, I get to go to fucking Philippines, and I'll come back from that, and I'll have a little time to recover from that, and then I'll be back out rocking and rolling. So,
I love
uh,
that, man. I would say my favorite part about you comedians too is, man, is like you just said, man, you guys love to get back, dude. I've been doing this podcast for about 4 years now, and my favorite
oh,
interview.
have you done stand up? Have you tried it?
I have, yeah, yeah. I'm barely okay at the minimum, and that's like honestly not even true. Kind of shitty, but honestly, I love. It's something that
Right.
I've done
We
naturally.
all were.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
we
course.
all were shitty at one point. I mean, that's the thing about it. It's like we're all shitty at one point. Like it's nothing like it's like you got to be when you fucking start doing. You got to be prepared to fall on your face over and over again and keep getting back up and keep getting back up, because that's the only thing because I don't know anybody's going, oh, stand up's fucking easy. It's fucking I go, you're fucking delusional. I've been doing it for 30 years and it still scares the fuck out of me every fucking night. I mean, I get fucking worked up before I go out there. But I think that's good, because if you're not nervous about what you're doing, then why are you doing it? I think it puts you in another position. But yeah, you know, but the first 15, 20 years is tough. But after you clear that, and I've said this to other people, anybody who's been doing stand-up comedy for 20 years, immediately you have my fucking respect. I'm talking about a working pro. I'm talking about anybody who's been a working pro or working on becoming a working pro. For listening, I got fucking mad respect for you. And how tough it is to do. That's why I'm always kind to people that are coming up and comers, because it's already tough enough. You don't got to fucking bust somebody's balls. Why don't you give them a little fucking encouragement and give them a couple pointers, like so many people did for me at the Comedy Store. I mean, like literally the Comedy Store for me was like fucking college. It was college. And you got to talk to people like Paul Mooney and Louis Anderson and Gary Shandling. And I was friends with Dice Clay, and I was friends with Sam Kinison and Carl LeBeau. And you get to meet Robin Williams and watch Robin Williams and see Eddie Murphy and watch Eddie Murphy. And you get to see these guys live come in there. And fucking Richard Pryor would come in and just like fucking, it was like, oh my God. Like I had such reverence for it. I studied this shit like a science. So, and I never set out to become famous, because I don't really think there's anything. I think fame is great, but I think it's overrated. I really do. I think it'll get you a nice fucking table at a restaurant, but other than that, fucking it's stupid. It's the stupidest thing ever. And I think if you're not, I just want experiences. I want to collect experience. I've already done that. I already had, but I want to just fill my life with these fucking great, amazing experiences. I don't need a $5,000 watch. I don't need a sports car. I just want to have like, uh, mind bending, out of body, out of conscious fucking experiences that fucking feed my soul. That's where I'm at now. And that
Yeah.
they may be counterintuitive to comedy, but you always come back. But you also have to go live your life, because you got to talk about life. And so you got to come up with stuff to talk about. So in order to come up with new stuff to talk about, you have to go live your life. So you have to go to ball games. You have to go to concerts. It's like being an actor. You can't you can't learn acting in a fucking you can learn the fundamentals in a fucking classroom, but you can't pretend like you're buying like you should partake in life. You should see what it's like to buy drugs or buy drugs off a drug dealer or see what that interaction is like, see what that exchange is like. You should actually figure out how to cook, work, and fire a gun. You should be in a boxing gym and you should be living life. You should be adding all these because you can't do that shit otherwise. You have to live life. You have to absolutely go live life because then you have a lot to pull from. And the thing I love about travel more than anything is you really get an education unto itself. And it's a better education than you get, you know, because you know it, you touched it. I was there. There's a restaurant called. Oh yeah, people. When I talk to people from cities all the time, I go, oh, that's my favorite city. You know, my shave it out the burger joint. Oh yeah, right on Wells Street. And they go, yeah, yeah. But all that stuff, all those, you know, it's. I mean, I've been to this place like 10 or 15 times throughout my life. It's, you know, it's like I call it being a citizen of the world. You know.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
like you know, some people, most people, never leave within 50 miles of the house they grew up in. You know, and so, and I've done nothing but stay outside that 50-mile circle. You know, but anyway, listen, man, where we at time wise? You good? You got any more
Oh, we're
questions?
good. We're good.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
more
we're way over, bro. This is bonus. This is behind the wall
bonus.
stuff.
This is
This is
extra credit.
PayPal shit. Listen, man. Hey, great meeting you, man. And thanks for having me on your podcast. And I hope we got a couple nuggets or some stuff we got to use there. I'm sure you probably edit it down. But yeah, man. Good luck with everything. And well, I'll follow you online. I'll see you online. All right.
I appreciate you, brother, man. It was an honor having you on the show, man. And like I said, comedians like you, man, they're the reason why I keep going, man. I appreciate all your kind words, and we'll do this again sometime for sure.
Absolutely, man. All right. Take it easy. Happy Thanksgiving. Be well and peace out.
Likewise, brother. This has been Alternate Take. We'll see you guys later. Peace.